So we find ourselves under the Honda Civic. So the first thing we need to do is PB blast any of the bolts. So you can see all the, and this is a foaming type. I don't know if it's any better. I've not used it very much, but it goes everywhere. But you want to get all the bolts that you think might come in contact with having to be removed. Same thing on both sides, soak them down. I'm going to take this one off first in case I run into any problems. Worst case, we'll just do one if we have to, if we have any problems. But you soak them down, and we'll let that set for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that, before we even touch it. So, all right, here we go. Well, I guess we're going to start on this side. I'm going to start on this metal bolt here. Yeah, I'm going to have a breaker bar. Alright, so I don't have a 14 and a half-inch drive at the moment. I don't know where it's ran off to. So we're going to take this jewel here. It's got an adapter on it. So far, so good. Here we go. Alright, that one's good. I'm going to come up here. Oh yeah, that one's easy. Maybe. For now anyway, because they'll get harder and then loosen up and all that mess sometimes. Alright, let me, I didn't spray the back of that one good. Let me get those. So alright, I'll try to get in here and see what we can do with this one. Kind of a tight spot with the wheel on it still. I think we can get it. There we go. Oh. Let's see. I'm going the right way. This is when it starts getting sketchy. Let me soak it with some more PB blast just to be, extra careful. I can't even talk today. All right, here we go. So, all right, sometimes if they're crazy like that, you may have to run them in just a hair to get them to move a little. Just keep from breaking them. I feel like that centerpiece is going to turn with us. What are you getting there? Oh. Oh, man. It's crazy. Oh, man. It's coming. Slowly but surely. One of them pops every time. It makes me think it's gonna break. It's just in there. And on the EGs and this bolt right here, they're horrible about breaking. I guess it just gets dried and rusted. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere, I think. I see what the popping actually is. Where it's going through the middle, it's binding up in the middle. The thread part's moving fine. Okay, let me test all the other ones and see if we can get some. I'd say we might be able to get the, let's see if we can't get the impact on those. Let's see what we can do. Yep. Let's try this one. There we go. You can see the rust on them and you can tell why. So that's those two. There's no way that ain't gonna work. So I'll continue wrenching that one loose, and I'll actually, let me get a pry bar and we might be able to pry this end out. All right, so as expected, I had to take a sawzall and cut that out. So what happens is the centerpiece, the bolt that goes through that gets stuck in that middle. It like seizes up. Just have to take you a sawzall or a torch. Sometimes you can heat it enough, but I don't have a torch. I don't have any gas in it, so I just cut the end off and knock the other side out. So, and that's why I made sure I had control arms first before I did that. So, all right, here we go. And all right, there's the finished product. So this one I had to finally adjust it in some. This one went in good. And this one I had to take the actual jack stand, push up on it, and take a screwdriver and kind of fidget the inside piece in. So do that and lock her in and call it a day. All right, I'm gonna do the other side, then we'll step back and look, see how it looks as a pair. All right, here we go. Okay, they come out pretty good. So once you get them out and you can't really get any more grab to them, you can take a hammer and something of that caliber, because you can't hardly pull on them. And sometimes it takes a bigger wrench. The easier ones will just pop right out. Sometimes you can get a screwdriver. You don't want to bend them because there's stress on them. You just want them to come out. So there's a lot of ways you can make them come out or whatever. Just gotta figure out what works for you. And when these go back in, it don't hurt to, like in the middle, put a little bit of oil or we'll say Vaseline or anything really inside the middle, because there's nothing threads there. So it's where the bolt actually goes through on the new part. You can actually put some lubrication in the middle of them, because there's nothing that tightens in the center of them. But all right, let me get the other one and we'll start putting it in. So all three of these bolts are the same, so you don't necessarily have to figure out which way one goes or anything. But as you're putting it in, you probably just want to just get it kind of started. Try to get them lined up. You don't want to tighten anything until you get it going. And usually this one's the pain. And I always put it back this way. Or maybe an easier, quicker way, I don't know. And so, think about it. So when you let the car down, the wheel goes up and back just a little bit. So they will be tweaked just a hair, and that's why this one's a little bit more difficult to put in. Shouldn't be crazy, but generally it is a little, I don't do that. Generally it is a little more involved. There we go. You know, just a little bit more effort than the other two. And that's about all there is to it. Now you can go ahead and tighten everything up. I don't use any anti-seize or anything like that. And these things usually just pull right up. The last one on the inside, I'll use the ratchet for it. But I will take my breaker bar, put a little something on them, you know what I mean? It's a little bit of, not usually that much, but you know what I'm saying. A little something, you know. A little something on them. And that's pretty much all there is to these. As long as you don't have one that has an issue, they're usually pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Simple install. And this is one of those that can turn into a whole lot more of a job than anticipated in a matter of seconds. Again, I always put a little something on them. Don't go stupid, but this is a longer breaker bar especially. So you don't have to put a ton on it. So that should be it. That's pretty much all there is to it. The other one, again, that's the one that had all the damage to it, and it needs an alignment. I can tell it's still a little bit tweaked, so we definitely need to get an alignment on the car. Try to straighten everything out. That strut may be bent for all I know. But that's the lower control arm install on the EK Civic. Same way on the EG, pretty much the same thing. But on the EG, the shock is where they mess up. Right here is what gets you. So a lot of times you just have to cut them off. Either plan on having some extra bolts, or at least have a sawzall, whatever you got to do, because a lot of times they'll break or you'll have to cut them out. Just be prepared. Don't just go at it and not have some kind of backup plan. Maybe a torch, sawzall, something to cut out that center bolt. And you probably do want to find some extra bolts, kind of measure them, get an idea what they are. It's not going to hurt to go ahead and buy all new bolts, because if you get stuck with it, you're in trouble. And if you don't, good. This one went super smooth. Very seldom do they go like that. There's more times that it freezes up than not. So it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and buy, what, 6 bolts. It's not that big a deal. But yeah, so either way, it's done. Here we go.
I'm feeling high.